The abandoned hotel sat at the edge of town, its once grand facade now faded and crumbling. For years it had sat empty and forgotten, a relic of a bygone era. But that didn't stop people from being drawn to it. They came from all over, curious to explore its dark and mysterious halls. Mia was one of those people. She had always been fascinated by abandoned places and the stories they held. So when she heard about the hotel, she knew she had to see it for herself. As she approached the building, a chill ran down her spine. It was bigger than she had expected and more imposing. The windows were boarded up and the doors were locked tight. But Maya was determined to find a way inside. She circled the building, looking for any weak points. Eventually, she found a broken window on the third floor, and with some effort, she managed to pry it open. Mia climbed inside, and the air was thick with dust and decay. The floorboards creaked under her feet as she made her way down the hallway, her flashlight illuminating the way. As she explored the rooms, she couldn't help but feel like she was being watched. It was a feeling she was used to in these types of places, but this time it was different. The air was heavy with a sense of unease, like something was lurking just out of sight. Mia pushed the feeling aside and continued exploring. But as she made her way down to the basement, she realized that something was wrong. The air was colder down here, and the darkness seemed to press in on her from all sides. Suddenly she heard a noise. It was a soft whisper, barely audible, but it sent shivers down her spine. She turned her flashlight toward the sound, but there was nothing there. Mia started to back away, but then she heard it again. This time, it was louder, more insistent. And then she felt something brush against her arm. She spun around, but there was still nothing there. Panic set in, and Mia turned and ran toward the stairs. But as she reached the top, she heard the noise again. It was coming from one of the rooms. She hesitated, but then curiosity got the better of her. Mia slowly approached the room, her flashlight trembling in her hand. The door was slightly ajar, and as she pushed it open, she saw a figure standing in the corner. It was a woman dressed in a tattered white gown. She had long, tangled hair, and her face was twisted into a grotesque expression. Mia wanted to scream, but she couldn't find her voice. The woman started to move toward her, and Mia realized that she had to get out of there. She turned and ran, her heart pounding in her chest. She didn't stop until she was outside, the cool night air washing over her. Mia never went back to the abandoned hotel again. But sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night, her heart racing, and she could swear she could still hear that whisper in her ear.